In the western Alaskan peninsula that juts toward Russia across the Bering Strait, in a series of limestone caves cut into the hills above a dry tributary of the Amuruk Basin, sits one of the most consequential single archaeological sites for understanding the peopling of the Americas: Trail Creek Caves. First systematically excavated in the late 1940s by Danish archaeologist Helge Larsen, the site yielded fragments of human bone alongside stone tools, ivory implements, and the remains of mammoth, bison, and caribou, evidence of life on the late Pleistocene tundra. For decades, these bones sat largely untouched in museum collections. But in 2010, under the Native American Graves Protection and Repatriation Act, they were returned to Alaska and reanalyzed using modern techniques. That's when everything changed. For most of the 20th century, archaeologists believed in the Clovis-First model, a clean, simple narrative. Around 13,000 years ago, a single group of big-game hunters crossed the Bering Land Bridge, spread rapidly across the continents, and became the ancestors of all Indigenous Americans. It was elegant, it was easy to teach, and it was wrong. Over the past 15 years, discoveries from sites like Monteverde and White Sands National Park have pushed human presence in the Americas back thousands of years before Clovis. But the real disruption came from ancient DNA. Genetic analysis of remains across Alaska and beyond revealed something unexpected. Early Americans were not one population, but many. A major breakthrough came from the Upward Sun River site, where two infant burials dating to approximately 11,500 years ago were discovered. DNA from one infant revealed a previously unknown lineage, dubbed the Ancient Beringians. This group had split from other Native American ancestors around 20,000 years ago and remained isolated in Beringia for thousands of years. This shattered the idea of a single migration. Instead, the evidence points to multiple populations living in Beringia during the last ice age, diverging genetically before some groups moved south into the Americas. This idea is formalized in the Beringian standstill hypothesis, which suggests that ancestral Native Americans were trapped in Beringia for up to 8,000 years due to massive ice sheets blocking their path south. Trail Creek Caves fits directly into this picture. The DNA extracted from its remains shows the same deep population structure seen at Upward Sun River. These individuals weren't just early Americans. They were part of a diverse and fragmented population living in Beringia itself. Some of these groups would give rise to modern Native Americans. Others, like the ancient Beringians, would disappear. And then it gets even stranger. Genetic studies led by researchers like David Reich found traces of a mysterious ancestry component in some Amazonian populations, one linked not to Siberia but to Australasians, people from Australia and New Guinea. This population Y signal suggests yet another migration or contact event, possibly from a now extinct group, a ghost population. Meanwhile, the footprints at White Sands, dated to around 21,000 to 23,000 years ago, suggest humans were already deep inside North America during the peak of the last ice age, long before the supposed migration window even opened. So what does all this mean? It means the peopling of the Americas wasn't a single event. It was a long, complex process involving multiple migrations, isolated populations, and perhaps even failed expansions. Some groups survived and spread, others vanished, leaving behind only fragments of DNA. Trail Creek Caves is not an outlier. It's part of a growing pattern. And perhaps most importantly, it highlights something often overlooked. The answers were already there. The bones had been sitting in collections for decades. Only now, with advances in DNA sequencing, are we able to read what they've been holding all along. Much of the original Beringian landscape is now submerged beneath the Bering Strait. Coastal migration routes, if they existed, are underwater. Entire chapters of human history are literally drowned. What remains are rare inland sites like Trail Creek, perched above ancient shorelines, preserving snapshots of a lost world, and we've only just begun to analyze them. The next decade will likely bring more genomes, more surprises, and more revisions to what we thought we knew. The Clovis-First model is gone. The single migration story is gone. What's replacing them isn't a neat new theory. It's something messier, but far more accurate. Data. The peopling of the Americas is no longer a simple arrow on a map. It's a web of migrations, divergences, and disappearances, stretching back tens of thousands of years. Trail Creek Caves is one piece of that puzzle. The bones are real, the DNA is finally readable, and the story we thought we knew is being rewritten, one genome at a time.